Okay, so good morning everybody. I want to take a minute to talk to you about your fuel in your boat. And this boat here, beautiful boat, Camus. I really like this boat. I like the simplicity of it, the color. It's just kind of sleek looking. I don't know much about different types of boat, but I just kind of like the way this boat looks. So the client brought this into Michael to have him take a look at it, kind of do a discount double check, because he was having trouble getting it up on a plane. And when he got it up on a plane, it just didn't, it was very sluggish. It wasn't running. It was running, but not running the way he remembered it running. Now, this motor only has 20 hours on it. And so the first thing you should do is, when you have a low-hour motor, is take it back to the dealer. Unfortunately, the dealers are backed up right now. So we asked Michael to do a discount double check, see if there was any codes. So Michael hooked up his laptop, etc., and double checked the systems, made sure there was no codes. There was absolutely no codes in there. Then Michael started it up with the laptop hooked up, and there's a lot of analysis you can do on the laptop that's kind of telling you the, the firing sequences, those kind of things, to make sure if you've got a miss or that kind of stuff. It's a valuable tool, but it doesn't tell you everything. So based on that, what it really looked at was that everything was, okay, but it wasn't. So we had, it started it up a couple of times. It sounded great, but you can't obviously put a load on it when it's sitting here. So we decided, Michael then pulled all the plugs. Pulled every plug, did a discount double check on the plugs. The plugs looked very clean, possibly a little lean. And based on what we're seeing, that probably explains, a little bit about the story there. So what we ended up doing was, after we figured out that, there was no just things in there that was obviously, bad, fouled plug wire off, all of those things, etc. We did all the basic things that you would do on a discount double check. So then we decided, well, we better take a look at the fuel. And let me tell you, when we took a look at the fuel, it was not good. This is good fuel, kind of. This has been out for a little while, and this is the fuel that came out of it. Now, the problem with that is, when it came out, it was separated. So initially we thought there was water in there, but I believe what had happened is the alcohol had separated from the gasoline. And if you smell it, it smells like varnish. So according to the client, it's only been sitting for 4 months. So it's important. I don't know what stabilizers and stuff you can use in these things, and I suggest anybody that if you're going to put a fuel stabilizer in your boat, that you do a discount double check, you check with the appropriate people, and make sure that whatever you're putting in your fuel is compatible with whatever engine make you're running. Okay, just as simple as that. I'm not going to recommend any particular brands or anything, but I'm just saying, if you're going to do that, make sure that it's not going to violate or void your engine warranty. So we had cut open the filter, did a discount double check on the filter. The filter was not really that bad. There was some debris in there. If you've ever wondered what was in there, there's just basically a filter element, and that at the bottom. We did replace the fuel filter. But when we determined there was bad fuel in there, you can do one of two things, right? You can either put an additive in there and run it, or you can pump it out. Now, with 20 hours on a motor, I'd pump it out. That's just me. I wouldn't want to void my warranty. If it was an older boat, quite honestly, if we still had that old pickup truck around here, I probably would add 5 gallons to that every time I filled up, and I would run it out. Today we have a hazardous waste guy coming to haul off all this old fuel. So make sure you dispose of the fuel correctly. We have a gentleman coming by this afternoon to haul off all the old fuel. It costs money to do that. It's approximately $1 per gallon to dispose of, I believe.
$1.50.
Oh, sorry, $1.50 per gallon, and then there's a service charge for coming out, anywhere between 40 to whatever. So obviously this is the same gentleman that we use to dispose of our oils that come out of these. So make sure if you do anything like this, dispose of it correctly. If you have just oil, you can take it to where oil is sold and dispose of it correctly that way, okay? So make sure that you don't, just don't, treat the place, we want to leave it better than when we arrived. So Michael has been pumping out this tank, and basically what we've been getting is, kind of separations. Sometimes it'll be clear, sometimes it'll be dark colored. So obviously something has happened here. I don't believe you're going to get every little ounce of fuel out of this, but if we can get it down low enough to where we can get a good fill on it, I think it's going to help. My biggest concern would be is the injectors. That's my only concern at this stage of the game, is that it's not created a problem for the injectors. And obviously if it has, then the injectors need to be cleaned, tested and cleaned. It's not the end of the world, but we would hope that we wouldn't have to do that. But what I'm trying to say is make sure that you keep up with your fuel. Secondly, go somewhere where they sell a lot of fuel, okay? Don't go to some place where they don't move a lot of fuel, because, quite honestly, that can create you problems. You never know. I've not talked to this guy on where he bought this fuel, but, go somewhere where you know that they are moving fuel, a tremendous amount of fuel a week, and then that way you're not ending up, off to a bad start. If you start out with kind of old fuel, and then you let it sit for a while, you're already in the hole. So, on cars, I don't know about boats, but on cars, if we're going to let one sit up, we do one of two things. We either pump out the tank, which we do a lot on the race cars. If it's a street car, invariably we'll have the tank as full as we can get it, with some type of preserver in there to keep the fuel up. Do your own homework on that. Everybody has their own flavors, etc. And I'm not saying you should or you should not, but I know one thing for sure. If I had a brand new boat with a warranty, I would make sure I did my homework to make sure that you do not do anything to void your warranty. Because it's always been my experience that guys try to get out of, doing warranty. So hopefully this will solve this problem. We just wanted to kind of tell you what was going on, and it's another one of those tips of, hey, kind of keep up with this, etc. It could have just been that he got some bad gas. I mean, that happens. It's happened to all of us that have been around for a while over a period of time. Alcohol in the fuel is not good. I wish they would quit doing that to some degree, but they're doing it, and we've got to deal with it. I think for the newer stuff, it's not quite as bad as some of the older stuff, because the newer stuff, they know they're going to do it and they build it that way. So Michael is looking at me like, shut up, we need to wrap this up, I got to get this finished. So we're going to finish getting pumped out, because like I said, the hazardous material guy, I can't remember what the gentleman's name is going to be here, and he needs to have this pumped out by the time he gets here, so the guy's not waiting. He's got a family man, got to make a living, going around picking up used oil and that kind of stuff. So anyway, tip of the day, keep us in mind, like, share and subscribe. Appreciate your time.